Merry Christmas,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Festivus?
For the rest of us.
Until you pin me, George, Festivus is not over.
That's right. Well, I'm Jason.
And I'm Jules.
And
we doing film
Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
I picked a movie.
I picked a movie.
And so we each picked a movie, and we watched them.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about them. They're holiday themed. Can I say, I'm just going to say, they're Christmas themed. We picked out Christmas movies.
They take place during American Christmas.
We wish you a happy holidays, but we picked Christmas movies.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Julian?
Yeah.
What's the first movie we're covering tonight?
Night of the Hunter.
Night of the Hunter?
Night of the Hunter. You know who was excited?
Richard Chamberlain?
Taylor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he goes, what y'all doing? And I go, I picked Edward Scissorhands. He goes, What Jason pick? I said, Night of the Hunter. He goes, whoa, holy shit.
Night of the Hunter. Mm-hmm. Robert Mitchum. Shelley Winters.
Yeah.
Two little kids.
Yes.
And a badass old lady.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
You got some trivia for this thing?
Yeah, man. There was a ton of trivia.
Really?
The tagline for this film is straight out of 1955. The scenes, the story, the stars, but above all, the suspense. The budget for this film was estimated $795,000.
Is that good?
Probably for back then. So
that sounds good.
To give you a little bit of a comparison, after adjusting for inflation, the $10,000 hidden away would be equivalent to about $110,000 in 2022. Apparently, the gross worldwide was $2,519.
What? You say 2,519?
That's what I said. That's what IMDb said.
Oh, that's not good.
No, I think this movie kind of bombed. Charles Laughton himself described this film as a nightmarish sort of Mother Goose tale.
Is that the writer or director? The director?
The director. Later on in life, Robert Mitchum, who was usually indifferent to these sorts of things, said that Charles Laughton was his favorite director and that this was his favorite movie he's ever acted in.
Really? That's nice.
Yeah. One day, Robert Mitchum arrived on set drunk, and producer Paul Gregory told him that he was in no condition to work. Mitchum took umbrage to this and walked over to the producer's Cadillac, opened the door, and peed on it. According to Robert Mitchum's autobiography, he himself was openly contemptuous of Shelley Winters throughout the shooting of the film.
Why?
And later claimed to have wished Charles Laughton had actually used Winter in the scene when her body's seen underwater. I also was hoping to find out in the trivia section, but did not, why Robert Mitchum had a fake arm.
What?
At the end, when they bring him out of the barn after he had been shot, he has a fake arm. It's a fake dummy arm dangling, and you could see his real arm, like the suit, is stuffed. And then the next scene, when it's closer up and they handcuff him, he's normal armed. So I'm like, did they do a reshoot? But at that point, maybe he had broken his arm or something. I was
going to say, maybe he broke his arm.
It's just a dangling dummy arm.
He was a hardcore drunk, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Big time. And I'll conclude my notes there. But I am going to need something.
Oh.
I'm going to need you to hit me with that synopsis.
Oh, he said the way I like it. The Night of the Hunter. Traveling preacher Harry Powell, Robert Mitchum, is wrongly accused of grand theft auto after freeing the world of another harlot sinner. In jail, he overhears his bunkmate, recently sentenced Ben Harper, Peter Graves, mention that he has $10,000 stashed away. Since Ben is sentenced to hang for his crimes, Harry sees it as only right. Ben tells him where the money is so he can use it to spread the word of the Lord, a mission Harry soon finds out is simply impossible. With at least the name of Ben's wife, Willa Harper, Shelley Winters, and town where she resides, Moundsville, Harry sets out on a mission to marry Willa, be a father to her children John, Billy Chapin, and Pearl, Sally Jane Bruce. Soon, though, tragedy strikes and Willa succumbs to her illness of being allergic to slit throats, and Jim and Pearl run off with the money in the hopes of, spoilers, the Harry's attempts to praise the Lord on the Night of the Hunter.
Spoiling it's supposed to be spoiling. So the movie starts, right? There's a couple of kids playing hide and seek on a farm.
When they just happen to find some lady's legs.
Yeah, a kid goes, I'm going to hide in the cellar. No, everybody else hides. The kid goes, I'm going to go look in the cellar.
Yeah.
And the door is just wide open.
Yep.
And there's a pair of stockings. Coincidentally enough, happens to have a pair of legs in them.
Yep.
And the camera zooms in on it and then pulls back out. And the kids are like, hey, hot dog. And then we cut to the preacher driving a jalopy.
I would like to take a moment to talk about the cinematography.
Okay.
This is a time before Steadicam, Julian.
It is.
Boy, That camera shakes when they're not using a helicopter. What are they using? Are they using a helicopter?
It's
Do they have
probably a biplane.
helicopters?
Yeah, so the preacher's just driving down the street. Oh, I'm killing some women.
And it's great as soon as he's on a soundstage now with that fake background going behind him.
But this is the first time I've seen a convertible where they put the projection in front of the car, so you're seeing over his shoulder. Oh. It's usually from that side shot. He stops at a town and gets arrested.
He goes
to the movie theater. It's a porno theater.
Is it a porno theater?
It's a theater.
Something to do with naked ladies.
There's a burlesque show. She's not nude.
He's getting all pissed off, right? Does his he
puts
when
his
he gets
knife
upset
through his coat?
Yeah. He's like, oh, whores. He's got like a real weird sex hang up, this guy.
Oh, absolutely.
He gay?
No, I bet what it was he was shamed as a child by his mom, made to wear like girls' dresses.
Fucking A. Yes.
Locked in the closet while she had sex.
Oh, no.
Because she was a prostitute.
Yeah, that's how you make serial killers.
It is. Yeah. And so he gets up and the cop goes, "Hey, mister, is that your car outside?" And he goes, "Well, no." He goes, "Yeah, it is. You're under arrest."
But what about love and hate? You want to know? No, you don't want to hear the story?
No, I have nothing but hate for you.
All right, goddamn.
And then he's in front of a judge, and the judge is like, 10 years.
What? They didn't give him 10 years?
10 days.
I think that's about right.
And they lock him up in a jail, and it's really shaky. It's like an earthquake jail or something.
Oh.
I don't know.
Is it the
As we look down upon it, yeah. Right after that, or at the same time as that, Peter Graves, who was on Mission Impossible.
Okay.
That's why in the synopses, getting the money was a mission that Harry found impossible.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It really would have worked if you had. Peter Graves, he's in his jalopy going home. He had robbed something, and he's got a stack of 10 grand.
A bank, I think.
And he's been shot too.
Why
do they have pesos?
I don't. Maybe they couldn't get their money on real money. Real money. Shit, I'm so sorry.
Oh, Mexico.
U.S. dollars?
I don't know.
And they're just like, just get pesos. We could get a big sack of it for $8.
Because I'm like, maybe this takes place in Texas or San Antonio, Texas.
I don't think so.
It doesn't. It takes place in West Virginia. So in any event, he goes, I got to hide this money.
Listen to me, John. This money here, we gotta hide it before they get to me. There's close to $10,000. Where? Under a rock in the smokehouse? No. The bricks in the grape harbor. No, they dig for it.
My ass isn't big enough. And he stuffs it into Pearl's doll.
Now your sister's dumb as shit, so don't let her know where it is.
She's a brag of rocks.
I'll tell anybody that love me. Mm-hmm. You love me? I know where the money is. Mm-hmm. It's in my doll.
And so they handcuff Peter Graves, and they put him in jail.
Yeah.
And he's in the jail with Robert Mitchum. Mm-hmm. Apparently, it was Robert Mitchum's idea to do the upside down.
I like that.
And he punches him.
He's fun. He's playful.
He is. He's super Joker.
Yeah. Oh.
He just needs a proper stare. And so he goes, Peter Graves is dreaming, and he's talking about the money. And Robert Mitchum's like, hey, where's that money at, though? And Peter Graves shoves those panties in his mouth, and he goes, I'll never tell. Goes back to sleep. Somehow, Robert Mitchum gleans that he has a wife and where she lives.
What about
the cube?
Did I tell you I keep saying gleaming the cube to my kids and they are real mad about it?
Mm-hmm.
Stop saying that.
Because they don't gleam the cube.
No, they're fucking whack as hell.
He gets out of jail because he was only robbing a car or stole a car.
Yep.
And then he only got 10 years.
And they don't know about the lady he killed to get it, right?
No, when they hang Peter Graves. Hang the shit out of him.
Well, they don't show you, though.
They don't, but the hangman is talking to a guard as he's leaving.
Yeah.
I don't like that one. He got chilled.
Yep.
That doesn't sit right with me. So then they let Harry out, the preacher, and he makes his way towards town. He wins over the old woman at the spoon store, the ice cream candy spoon store.
The spoon store?
It's called Spoon.
Okay.
That's their last name. And she goes, oh, that's a fine man.
Oh, you just got to stay for our picnic Sunday.
No, I must wend my way downriver on the Lord's business.
You ain't leaving in no hurry if we can help it.
This preacher over, he does love, hate.
There's no fucking way any of them would be like, oh yeah, that guy, he's got knuckle tattoos. Nobody believes he's a preacher.
Preachers can't have tattoos.
Check this scumbag out. This guy's trying to run a game on everybody.
So the old woman's basically like, hey, Willa, marry this guy.
Yeah, this guy fucking rules.
He rolls around. He's a preacher.
Yeah.
You know, the sex is good.
He's handsome, right? I think Robert Mitchum's handsome.
Yeah.
He's scary.
Yeah, I would never find him charming.
Right.
I find him alarming.
That's good.
Yeah.
Ting.
And so he marries her.
Yes.
And immediately he doesn't want anything to do with her.
No, it's fascinating because, like, I feel like the people at the restaurant were like, Well, gotta have a husband to help raise them kids. And then he's like, and then, yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to fuck her.
She
He
comes
just
out of
wants
the
that money.
bathroom. She's got her sex nightie on.
Harry,
I was praying.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. I thought...
You thought, Willa, that the moment you walked in that door, I'd start to pawing you in that abominable way that men are supposed to do on their wedding night. Ain't that right now?
No.
I think it's time we made one thing perfectly clear, Willa. Marriage to me represents a blending of two spirits in the sight of heaven.
Bro, I was pretty into Shelley Winters in this. She was so horny in that scene, too.
Is that Jonathan Winter's mom?
No, I think it's his sister.
That's probably more accurate.
She was so down to fuck, like pretty much melting, and then fell apart when he was like, "You dirty slut."
You
mean-
are most assuredly not clean down there. Lord, help me.
Help me be the woman he needs me to be, a sexless, do what he says lady.
And then she's like ranting scripture maniacally in front of torches.
Yeah, he ruined her.
I'm a whore.
It's probably a revival
My
tent.
letter is scarlet.
Do you think he's running revival tents? I don't think he is. Otherwise, he wouldn't be trying
I
to
don't
rip
either.
people off.
But there's got to be a local church already, right? And a priest or whatever. He goes, hey, but what about that money, though? I know it's in the river. And she goes, oh, you've cleansed my soul. And he goes, hey, Billy Chapin, where'd that money, though?
I heard it was in the river. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where it is. That sounds right.
Yeah, I'll never tell you. I mean, I don't know.
Billy knows where it is. Billy knows about the money.
Yep. So then Shelley Winters is in bed one night, and she literally goes, Lord, help me get clean.
Yeah, she's like basically catatonic. He's destroyed her.
Lord,
Help
me get clean.
I'm sick of being dirty down there.
There it is. And then he slits her throat and kills her.
We don't see him slit her throat, but
He
she's
draws
like
back.
welcoming of the knife coming at her.
She looks up and she goes, well, she says something, and they go like, oh, we can't put that in there. And they cut it. And he kills her. So she's dead now. But nobody knows that. Billy's in bed one night, and he hears the Model A chugging up. He's cranking it. He hits the horn. And he apparently somehow manages to drive a Model A at least 25 feet from the shoreline of the river into the middle of the river.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta go ahead and hold your breath, and you just drive it underwater, like in the cartoons, and then you turn the key. Probably didn't have keys back then.
Probably not.
You just swim on out.
Yeah, he's using the wiper. It's raining cats and dogs down here.
Yeah.
And so then he goes to the soda shop the next day, and he goes, hey, she left me.
Mr. Powell.
A strange woman is a narrow pit.
Amen, amen.
Oh, dear Lord.
What could have possessed that girl?
Satan.
He doesn't say she has the kids yet. That's a lie that comes later.
No, because he knows it's his mission from the Lord to raise them chillin'. And
Chillin'. Nice.
I know.
You're from the South?
Of course.
I like it.
And San Pedro. He goes back and he starts being a little bit more crazy.
Yeah.
I want that money.
Yeah.
And he goes, I ain't going to tell you shit. And he goes, I got Pearl. Pearl, tell me where the money is. And he goes, no. And he runs downstairs and they're hiding. Then the old lady comes by. I got some food.
Well, they're hiding down in the basement because I'm going to kill them.
You chillin', come on up here. And they come up all dirty. You know, I'm going to clean these. No, don't worry about it. I'll clean them.
I like them dirty.
And then I think they kind of run back downstairs and he gets hit. Because he goes, where's the money?
Yeah.
It's under a stone.
Makes them come with.
And they get down there and they don't find the money. Now, there's a shovel in the corner. I thought he was going to hit him with it.
I like how, like, if they had just waited 10 more seconds, they could have ran away, but they, like, inched their way towards the stairs instantly.
And he goes, no.
All right, kids, come with me.
So she goes, it's in the doll. And he goes, oh, the fucking doll. It's like James Gandolfini.
Yeah.
It's under the bed. I didn't look under the bed. I'm trying to channel him.
What? That's not even close to what you did.
It's under the bed. How does he do it?
No.
Because he's kind of got like a chunky tongue.
Did you put under the bed?
Ah, fuck me. It's under the bed.
It's under the bed.
You put it under the fucking bed. I didn't look under the fucking bed.
And so they hit the wall or something, and a shelf falls and
Full of jars.
They break on
Breaking on his head. He's really hamming it up.
and they run away. And he comes after him, and they close the door on his fingers.
Oh, that's pretty good too. It's very Home Alone-y.
That's exactly what I said. And they get the hell out of there, and they jump into a boat, and they paddle off. Harry's coming down. I'm coming, ye children.
Gets stuck on those goddamn branches.
Yeah. And he gets down into the mud and he gets into the water and he's about to slash him, but the boat takes off. Now, there's a couple things going on here.
Yeah.
First off, the water level was so low that Robert Mitchum was actually on his knees
Oh, that's good.
to make it look like he was standing breast high. Additionally, once the boat starts to go, did you notice the jets in the water?
I mean, yeah, it made it look like the boat really took off.
It did.
And then
But then it's
immediately
like,
it slowed down to nothing as soon as it was out in the water.
Yeah, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So they're in the boat and they're just boating away.
That howl he lets out is pretty
Yeah.
good. He does like 2 pretty good howls in this movie.
And this is where it starts to feel like Undertow.
Yeah, totally.
And so the kids are just riding this river. And so they stop at a woman. She's giving bread to kids.
Yep.
And she's dirty. They're dirty.
You two more wretched pieces of shit. You need some bread. Where are your parents?
I ain't got none.
Oh, go away, go away.
No, not even bread. She gives them 1 potato each.
Yeah,
and
that's
he's
nice.
eating the potato.
That's pretty good, dude. A whole potato for each of you. Mm-hmm. That might be better than the bread.
That'll sustain you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bread's just gonna pucker you up.
Yeah.
And you still need to get bowled over by a real meal.
You're going to get sick
That too.
eating that 1 piece of bread.
There's a really cool shot. They stop at a farmhouse and they go to sleep in the barn. Mm-hmm. And in the back,
He's so sick of floating around and sleeping in the boat. He's like, we're sleeping on land tonight.
and in the back, the preacher, you could see him riding a horse.
Yeah, singing his songs. He's always singing, letting you know he's coming.
Apparently, that was a dwarf on a pony
Oh, really?
to help force the perspective even more
That's cool.
because it wasn't that far away
Okay.
when they did it. But it was super cool.
Yeah.
And the kid goes, "Hi, Chihuahua."
I don't think he says that, but boy, that Robert Mitchum really sure does sell his fake being a man of God shit with his singing these goddamn hymns all the time.
Safe and secure from all alarm.
His Kentucky Fried Tie really helps too. And so they get the hell out of there, and eventually they fall asleep in the boat, and it crashes. And
It doesn't crash. It slowly comes to a stop against the land.
it's a slow crash. And the old woman comes up. She goes, "Holy hell! There's 2 more chillin' down here." Because she's got 3 chillin', 3 girls of various ages, from medium to large and small. Mm-hmm. And she goes, "Well, I'm gonna wash you," and she's scrubbing on them.
She chases him back to her house. She's hitting him with that stick. Is it a switch?
Pulls a switch.
Yeah. Sounds more like an Indiana Jones one.
Ay caramba, man! And now they're her slaves. And she makes them pick apples.
Like love slaves, but non-sexual. Oh, she's giving them love and they're giving it back.
They like each other. They're bringing apples to town because there's a big town nearby.
For the Apple Fest?
No, to sell to the local store guy.
Is it just apples? Is that what they're hawking?
Yeah. And she goes, "Oh, where's Ruby?
Where's...
She gone now." And she goes after her.
She's slutting about again, mama.
"Ruby, get on over here." And she, "Yes,
I need to look at these boys.
Here's a weird thing. When Billy Chapin, when he died in real life, the actor, Billy Chapin.
Dead?
Yeah, he's dead. He grew old and died.
What?
His sister at his funeral, in her eulogy, she mentioned how weird it was that he was like billed 11th in the credits, since he is the main character of the movie.
Oh. In his
And I thought to myself, that's an odd thing to put in his eulogy.
It's been 60 years, but it's some real bullshit.
They really fucked you on that one, Billy. Yeah. Ruby, she's known to sneak away because she says she goes to piano lesson. She goes to town one night, but till the preacher comes up on her, "Hey now."
Why, you're Ruby, ain't you, my child?
Can I have this?
Surely. I'd like to talk to you, my dear.
Will you buy me an ice cream?
Of course.
Watch out, preacher. Why, preacher?
Shut your dirty mouths.
I'll buy you a magazine and some ice cream.
Tell me, boy, I'm looking for a little boy and a little girl.
She's like, "I love you for the rest of my life."
Ain't I pretty?
Why, you're the prettiest thing I ever seen in all my wandering. Ain't nobody never told you that, Ruby?
Oh, no one never did.
He goes, "Hey, what up with them children?" "Oh, yeah, we got them."
We got them, Pearl and Matthew. What's his name?
John.
Pearl and John. Yeah, we found them in the river. They live with us now.
Yeah, I'm a gator. He goes, "Oh, interesting. Well, all right, I'm going to get up out of here." She goes, "Well, don't you love me?"
I thought we were going to do some stuff.
No,
some
we ain't
hand
going to do
stuff.
nothing. Nope.
No?
Just shadow box. And he leaves her. She comes home. "Where you been?" "I've been out with the boys."
I've been thinking that this man, he asked me some questions and he did not do anything to me.
Did you rat out this scheme I got going on here?
You were looking for love, Ruby, in the only foolish way you knew how.
And then the next day, Robert Mitchum shows up on their doorstep.
Oh, Miss Cooper! Miss Cooper! What? The man!
This is where he says their my wife, their mother, took him, ran away.
Yep.
Somewhere down by St. Louis, I think.
That's pretty crazy. They boated all the way back up the river.
Wait a second. She goes, "You ain't their father.
You ain't no preacher neither."
Oh, God damn it! Look at my. Remember to tell you the story. She goes, "I don't want to hear no fucking story.
No.
I don't want no hand job from you."
He's immediately like chasing him under the porch with the switchblade.
Yeah, because of the doll.
But then that old lady, she's like,
she comes out with that big old gun and she goes, "Hey,
just march yourself yonder to your horse, mister."
All right. But you haven't heard the last of Harry Powell yet. The Lord God Jehovah will guide my hand in vengeance. You devils. You whores of Babylon.
why didn't you fucking kill him right there?
I would have. That's what I said to Callie.
It's old days.
Kill him and throw him in the pond.
You can just dig a little hole right there.
Nobody
Nobody's gonna
knows
look
this
for him.
guy. Yeah, and if they did, he's a criminal and murderer.
So she points that gun at him.
And he runs away.
Like, I'll be back when it's dark.
And then he is back at night and he's singing a gospel song.
Sitting on that fence.
And then she starts singing it with him.
Why didn't she blast him?
Because she's got her eye on him. But then the dumb Ruby comes in with a candle and she can't see outside anymore. She goes, "Ruby, what you doing with that candle?" "I thought I'd come over and say what's going on."
Ruby sucks, dude.
Yeah, she sucks big time. And she puts the candle out. He's gone.
I blew it the candle.
He's gone, yeah. "Ruby, go get the kids. Put them on the staircase. We're going to have a good old-fashioned stakeout." And he comes in the house.
I want them kids.
What do you want them for?
That's none of your business, madam.
I'm giving you to the count of 3 to get out of here, then I'm coming across the kitchen shooting you.
Goosh! Blasts on him.
Well, it's because he pops up. I like it when she shoots him. I thought she was going to kill him.
And he goes running away. Yay!
Again with the crazy screaming.
Yeah.
That's some real lunatic scream.
It is. And he runs into the barn.
Yeah.
And she's posted up there, calls the police. "Sheriff, there's a guy here. Send everybody." And they come.
I mean, it takes like 6 hours for him to get there.
Yeah, but they come in hot.
It's interesting. So he's hurt and he's hiding in the barn?
I guess.
He's hurt? Like, he's not like, I can't make it very far, but I do need some shelter?
Yeah, I thought, okay, maybe he didn't get shot, but he's just really weird. Or maybe he did get shot and he's dead.
Yeah.
But cops go, "Come on out of there."
Why you got 3 arms now?
And then he comes out. And his right arm, it's just dangling. And it's bloody. So I'm like, oh, is it going to fall off?
Oh, he had 3 arms.
Because he shot him in the arm. I thought maybe it tore through him. And it was supposed to fall off. And then they get him and he's got 2 arms again. And they arrest him. And this is where it gets weird for me.
Yeah.
Because we never see him again throughout this initial sequence.
Well, what about how the little boy is so traumatized from his father being arrested by the police and getting hung that he freaks out when they're handcuffing
Oh, that's
Robert
right.
Mitchum.
And he starts beating him with the doll.
"The money's not worth it. Just take it. Take it." And he loses that 10 grand that's worth, you said $182 million today?
So he's beating him with the doll and the money's flying everywhere. And they go, "Oh, well, that maybe is evidence. But we also know he's killed plenty of people."
Yeah, I just don't know if they care about the money. I'm not sure.
Because they're like, "Now you're on trial." And we never see him in court. The judge is like talking to us.
Okay.
"Now you're on trial for these murders. We're going to give you 8 years."
No.
The maximum sentence.
The little boy won't testify against
"Oh, you stole a car? 18 years. And the little boy won't. He's not a snitch.
No.
And then he gets off the stand and Robert De Niro's like, "You passed your first test. You popped your cherry. Everybody gets popped, Henry."
I was mixed up. I was like, is he doing Sleepers? This isn't Sleepers. That priest in here would not say those things.
Goodfellas. And so they go, "All right, well, we don't really need his testimony.
Yeah.
We know we read all about it."
Yeah, extra. He a bad guy.
And so they go, "Yeah, all right, you're going to get killed in jail." And then
They're having lunch at the diner, and then...
Oh, that's right. So the mob forms.
Yeah.
They're like, "Throw the book at him."
It's pretty crazy how the mob just starts, like, ripping wood off of storefronts.
Oh,
That's
they're tearing
not the
furniture
jail,
out.
right?
They're just breaking into some store and tearing out bed posts. And
Why?
To
beat him to death with?
Well, I'm like, wait, are they going to beat the kid and the mom?
No.
Or the old lady?
No, that's how they're getting psyched up. They're like, there's the poor bastard that he ruined his life. Let's go get Robert Mitchum. He's a
because they're fleeing.
They're Irish.
And every time they cross paths with them, it's like this burgeoning.
They're not in danger at all.
Okay.
She's trying to the old lady's trying to shield them from.
They keep yelling, "Bluebeard!"
Yeah,
Bluebeard.
That's right. Like, isn't that the Bluebeard story?
I do.
Yeah,
it's a real Frankenstein type moment. And they bring Robert Mitchum out to the car, and the mob descends upon them.
And the hangman's like, I'm looking forward to this one.
I'm gonna like this. You see this? I'm going home.
Yeah.
And then it's Christmas.
Yep.
In Hollis, and they are decorating the tree or whatever, maybe, and
the Cheerio strands.
Popcorn.
Yeah.
You wretched fool.
I don't know.
And the old lady's like, well, I got you gifts. Oh, Granny, we got you gifts. First, here's my... And the boy's just like, oh, shucks, I didn't get her anything. I'm a buffoon.
Yeah, I couldn't think of what's called.
And he runs into the next room, and he takes a doily out from under a thing.
Takes an apple from the kitchen, I think, on his way out.
And he wraps it up with a clothespin. Hey, Granny, I got you this. She goes, oh, thanks. She goes, oh, thanks. This is the greatest gift God's ever granted me. Your gift's over there, and it's a watch. And he goes, holy shit, I can tell time now.
Man, apparently I've been gifted lots of watches over the years, but none of them as good as this one.
Yeah, he goes, this is the best watch I've ever had. It's like, that means you've had at least two.
Yeah. I mean, switchblade or a watch. There's not many things to choose from back in 1955.
That's true. She goes, oh, cool. I'm glad you liked it. And
they just smile at each other.
Happy New Year. And the movie's over.
And I had texted you, is this movie even about Christmas? And you said, it's coming. The spirit will get you.
It's very bizarre how that happens.
I was told it was a Christmas movie by an article on the internet.
I was expecting it to take place not in the snow, although there is snow, but in during Christmas.
Yeah, I thought Santa Claus was after them.
Yeah, like he's killing people.
This is not Silent Night, Deadly Night?
No, he only kills. We only see him kill one person. We're led to believe that he killed that first lady, but What
do you think about this movie?
At first I was kind of like, I don't know about this.
Okay.
I really wasn't into Shelley Winter, but it became a little bit more.
I found this movie to be quite scary a few times. There was 2 or 3 times where I was like, oh, I'm worried.
I can see this not landing in 1955.
No, I feel like people would be like, what the fuck is this?
They weren't ready for it, but the kids are going to love it. I really like the old lady.
She's the best, dude. I love how she saw through his shit right away.
He ain't my dad.
No, and he ain't no preacher neither.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she's no joke.
No, that lady is about it, man. She's like a true Christian, and she smells a sinner a mile away, like Kid Rock.
Because she does feel a duty to raise these children. Not just house them and abuse them and take money from the state.
Right.
But to actually
treat them good, raise them up, make them good
some
people.
Shit, right?
Although, what's up with that dumb bitch,
Ruby? She's just a dolt. That's not her fault.
What? I mean, her hormones are taking over. But geez, Louise, I mean to be that horny for somebody who's clearly the devil is wild.
Well, and Treat Williams would run roughshod over her too.
Yeah,
and he'd be like, "You want to get in my car?" Yeah. Oh, that easy. All right.
I was going to talk to you about how I'm Arnold's friend, a friend. That's what I want to be to you. But
yeah. I'm just going to leave. I like this movie.
Yeah,
I liked it. It wasn't long. It was interesting.
It was a little bit longer. It felt a little bit longer than I thought. Those last 20 minutes, I was like, this movie's over. It was not.
It's almost like a gear shift, though, all of a sudden.
Isn't it only
becomes a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
In the last, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes.
God bless you, each and every one of you.
Can you imagine if you've never seen this movie and you're just stumbling on TV and you catch it right there? Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, what is this Christmas movie?
This is a really
nice
nice
of the
movie.
Hunter. That's an interesting time. Maybe I missed a character that was hunting at night, perhaps.
It's probably about Jesus. Jesus was hunting for people to help.
And then you just carry this thought in the back of your mind for the rest of your life that Night of the Hunter is some wholesome Christmas film. I'm going to give it a 7. What
I would give it. I'd give it like a 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
What do you give Robert Mitchum?
I give him a 6.5.
Oh, really? I give that goofy bitch a 7.5.
There you go.
What about Shelley Winters?
I don't know. 5.5.
What? She's so good in this.
I don't know. I didn't get it.
I'll give her a 7.5.
There you go. That brings us to my pick of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands,
Yeah.
a Tim Burton film.
Yep.
One of the few of them that I enjoy even a little bit.
I was a little worried going in, and as soon as it started, I was hooked.
It's a pretty funny movie. I was trying to explain this to my 8-year-old today. I was like, Frankenstein?
The thing about Tim Burton that I've come to realize is, he's known as a bit of like a gothic, goth boy auteur, right?
Uh-huh.
But his movies have a real positive undertone to them, and the characters are hopeful and positive as well, even when they're doing bad stuff.
In this, you've spread this out over other Burton movies. It's not just this one.
Mm-hmm. Ed Wood,
an outlier.
Sweeney Todd.
You have not even seen Sweeney Todd.
It's from 1990.
Rated X.
It is for Vision. The tagline: "His scars run deep."
No, really?
Apparently,
they're very. Oh,
yeah. It was filmed in Florida. Did you catch that?
He's not even human.
No, he's not. He's made. He's a homunculus.
He doesn't grow.
No, he doesn't need to eat apparently either.
No, but he can. It's not like a robot that will break their
He
gears.
just opens up the stomach and it just pours it because he doesn't poop.
Ambrosia salad.
This movie had an estimated budget of $20 million.
Okay.
It grossed 86. This was Vincent Price's last movie.
I believe that. That was actually, they videotaped him dying.
Well,
that
he
was him,
collapsed
that was him dying
on stage.
Oh, really? In real life?
Yes. And because of the lights, they were just heating him up. He got all dizzy and shit.
Yeah.
Because he had Parkinson's and something else.
Old?
And it's rumored that the scene in the movie where he does collapse and die, that's the footage, the overhead shot of him having actually collapsed. They kept it and put it in the movie.
I don't believe it.
It's rumored.
I always thought Vincent Price was gay.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
He had a wife and kids.
Because of Bill Hader?
I mean, because of that voice.
Yeah. His daughter's in this movie.
Who's she?
She's the blonde reporter that runs up on them when she brings Edward home.
Do you have a dick, Edward?
Diane Weiss was the first to sign on to this movie.
Weist?
Weist. Both.
I like her.
Vincent Price's role was intended to be larger, but he died. He got very ill with emphysema, and he had Parkinson's, so they just cut his work to a minimum. Fox studio executives were worried about Edward's image.
Weird.
So much so that they kept pictures of Johnny Depp in full costume under wrap until the release of the film.
So we got Johnny Depp, and he's in like a sex leather outfit, but it's to protect him from his scissor hands because they'll slice him up. So everything but his face is protected.
Well, the idea is that he doesn't have a body.
What?
He's just a head.
What?
And the body's like a robot still.
What?
Uh-huh.
What?
Yeah.
What?
There's no man under here.
What?
Yeah. There's no penis.
What? Is that real?
He has a screw up here.
Is this really?
I think so, yeah.
Shut up about the screw.
He does. You don't see it when he has a shirt on, though.
Julian?
That's what they say.
He's just a head?
Because you remember when Vincent Price is reading about etiquette and we see Edward, he's on his workstation and his legs are next to him.
I thought he was like in a lotus pose.
And his legs are not connected. And his fingers are slightly twitching and he's barely recognizing shit. He's he's not a full man. He's like he took that machine that was cutting the lettuce for some reason. And there was like celery dropping out of one of the machines. It's like they make cookies and they cut up celery.
Man, they were stamping those cookies like trash. Those cookies ain't doing shit.
They had to do an insert moments later of somebody probably just doing this to be like, no, see? It does work. It's a huge orb machine to crack one little egg.
So you mentioned that he doesn't have a penis.
No, he doesn't have anything.
I also was feeling like he didn't have a penis. I wanted him to have sex with all the ladies in the neighborhood, but I also wanted him to discover he had no penis. I don't know, man. A lot of contradictions here.
It is. This movie starts with one thing.
Oh. I thought you weren't going to do it. I have to pee.
Okay. Just do it.
Edward Pee-Pee Hands.
Let it go.
Local Avon magnate Peg Diane Weist trespasses on the grounds of and subsequently breaks into a local castle and stumbles upon the lonely inhabitant Edward Johnny Depp, who suffers from a rare disease, Scissorhands. Peg kidnaps him and takes him to her house, where, along with the help of her husband Bill, now an Arkin, begins indoctrinating him in order to turn him into a suburbanite. When their teenage daughter Kim, Winona Reader, returns home early from a camping trip, Edward almost kills her. Something apparently only her hero boyfriend Jim, Sir Anthony Michael Hall, can see as plain as day. Edward attempts to win over the community with his hedge pruning mastercraft, dog shearing brilliance, and human hair cutting dynamism, but it isn't long before he reveals himself to be the devil local religious treasure Esmeralda, Olan Jones, prophesized him to be, proving that you can never trust a man named Edward Scissorhands. What's up with Olan Jones? What's up with that name?
I don't know. I was like, oh, I recognize her. We just saw her in something.
Yeah.
And then I go, oh, that's her name?
Our dreams?
Anyways, Avon goes calling. She's walking around. Hey, Avon calling. And they go, oh, Peg, I don't buy your shit. And that one lady...
Omar calling.
From the Contact, the network. Kathy Baker.
Oh.
She's hitting on the plumber or the dishwasher repairman.
Yeah.
Hard time. Big time.
Big time. I can't handle long fingernails.
Oh, yeah.
You like them, or you're also
No,
disgusted? Yeah.
They're so impractical.
It's so gross. Are you feeling Kathy Baker in this? Or are you like...
Yeah, I mean, I like the character. She said she did this because she thought this would help her break into comedy.
She's always like a nice, tender lady. She's never funny.
No, and I don't recall her being in anything funny after this. So.
But this is the fourth fucking movie we've seen with her in it since we started doing this podcast. So
and
she
she's
is
always,
in everything.
And she's always different.
Yeah.
You know?
She's good, too.
She's great. She goes, wait a second, there's a castle over there.
Yeah.
I never go up there.
Why would I go to that castle?
I'm finna now, though.
We all know that. I mean, everybody in the neighborhood knows about the castle, right? They're like...
Yeah, it's right at the end of the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, there's a haunt, but it's up a mountain.
Oh, yeah.
Haunted castle.
It's a composite shot.
I laughed my ass off when they showed that castle. I was like, that is the fakest looking shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But it's pretty funny to see that black, dark spot in the middle of this neon suburbia.
So she goes on up there. Avon. And she goes into the garden. She goes, oh my God, it's so lush. Now, I understand him cutting the hedges. I get that. How is he planting all of those flowers? Maybe he's just got a seed spreader in his anus, where his anus should be, and a hose where his penis should be. So she goes upstairs. She sees the machinations and the robots and such that are now not working. Mm-hmm. Theoretically, Vincent Price's skeleton should be at the floor.
Right. I'd also like to say those robots were working so good before.
Yeah.
They're all so effective.
They made like 6 cookies. So she finds him up there. He's cowering. She goes, hey, what are you doing over there?
That's fucking scary. Mm-hmm. It is deeply scary when she spots him off in the dark in the corner. That is not like oh, come here, puppy.
I feel
like you'd run away so scared.
She does. I feel like they built this attic larger than it should be, because she really seems really small when she walks in there, and he's like so small in the corner. And when he reveals himself, he's got the hands that we aforementioned talked about as being made of scissors.
Yeah,
which is odd because his job on the assembly line was cutting up produce.
This is gonna be a 4-hour episode, isn't it?
So why doesn't he have knife fingers? So in any event, she goes, well, come live with me. You can't be here anymore. And I hate my son.
Yeah?
Come on. He goes, all right. And she takes him home. And all the women in the neighborhood, what's that? Who's that?
She's got a little leather boy in her car.
Is he Cabana boy? What's going on here?
What do they do?
What's happening? I failed to mention during the Night of the Hunter, Robert Mitchum apparently had like some guy that hung around with him on the set. He would like boss around and smack around.
What?
And like the cinematographer or the producer was like, this is very weird. What's going on here? So she takes him home and she goes, oh yeah, this is my house. You know, you're going to sleep in Kim's room because she's gone on a camping trip.
Let me wash your penis.
Here's some of Bill's clothes, and he snips the suspenders right away. And then later we see he's got a safety pin on it.
His dumb looks are pretty good in this. He's like,
He said he studied Buster Keaton to learn how to act without talking.
yeah.
He apparently also only says, like, this is, they say this like this is a, I mean, I guess maybe it is, but he only said 139 words in the movie.
I didn't even know he could talk in this movie. I've seen this movie before. I completely forgot that he had the ability to talk.
Oh, no, the movie starts with Winona Ryder as an old lady.
Oh, yeah.
But they're hiding the fact that it's Winona Ryder,
Yep,
even though obviously it is.
Snuggle in, sweetie. It's cold out there.
Why is it snowing, Grandma? Where does it come from?
Oh, that's a long story, sweetheart.
There's like her granddaughter's in an enormous bed.
My lover had scissor hands.
Let me tell you about this old guy. How do you know he's lived? So everybody's like, who's that boy? Who's that girl? And
Madonna.
They come over, hey, Peg, what's up? Because Peg introduces Edward to her husband and son at dinner.
Kevin, think how it would make you feel if somebody were staring at you.
Well, this must be quite a change for you, right, Ed?
Edward, dear, I think he prefers Edward.
Oh, sure. So what have you been doing with yourself up there in that big old place?
And the boy's just like, holy shit, this guy's dope. I'm going to take him to school. And she goes, stop, don't do that. Stop staring. And the dad's like, hey, Edward, those are great hands. And then when the dad's out cutting the hedges, listening to the ball game, Kevin, turn it up.
Turn it up. I still can't hear it.
And then all of a sudden Edward comes out and he just, and he cuts the shit out of the hedge and turns it into a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
It's a pretty good Tyrannosaurus. It's
Not a real hedge.
Tyrannosaurus from Pee-wee Big Adventure.
Not a real hedge.
Well, I don't know why you had to ruin that for me. What is it, Jules?
It's a pipe or a metal frame, and then they put like some sort of a chicken wire basically around it, and then they poke in the fake stuff. He goes, holy shit, Edward, that's awesome. And then he cuts the family.
Oh, Edward.
This is insane.
You could make money. I'm trying to do Alan Arkin. I can't do it.
No. That's a terrible idea, son. Go to the garage and get the oil can. We don't want him rusting up on us now, do we?
So they have the barbecue, and all the women are like, well, come over and do my hedges.
Yeah.
Don't hedge your bet on just Peg. Come do mine. And he goes, okay. So he starts doing everybody's. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden this dog comes up, and he goes, And he fucking cuts the dog
dick off
into poofs. And the woman goes, oh my God, I love it. Oh my God. And now we see there's a line of dogs being brought in.
And cut all the dicks off the dogs? Is that what's happening?
No.
Is that what you said?
Winona Ryder may have come home at this point.
Dog dick removal?
When she returns home and we see Jim, he's a real skis ball.
They came back because they heard about the dog dick removal?
They did. So in order to save their dog,
yeah,
they come back early.
Save it.
And she comes in and she goes,
save it so that they can bring it over to have the dog dick removed.
Yep.
She wants to be a part of that.
Yep. So she gets home and she finds Edward in bed and she freaks the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty scary.
There's some weird guy,
pale,
with knives on him.
I don't even know if you see the knives right away. She's probably just staring at that creepy face looking at him.
Hitting the waterbed.
Yeah, he's scared.
She's almost nude.
Not really.
And she runs out. And
she has removed a few layers and he's still fully clothed.
And everybody's like, it's okay, it's Edward. Who the fuck is Edward?
I like it when he scurries down the hallway.
No, Edward, come with. He's all wet.
He scurries like a spider.
So Alan Arkin takes him to the basement. He's got a nice little bar set up. And so he starts drinking with Edward. Gives him a straw. And Judi Dench is like, well, just sleep with Tim tonight.
Judi Dench.
Try to slip it by you.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, you know what? You should go apologize to Edward. You really scared him. And she goes, I scared him.
That motherfucker's got scissors for a hand.
So they go downstairs.
It's in his last name.
Yeah. His surname is his hand name. And they go downstairs and they go, sorry, Edward, I didn't mean to spook you. And he goes, and then he falls on them. Cuts her in a foot.
Because he's drunk?
Mm-hmm.
Can you Alan Arkin told him it was lemonade.
Yeah,
he sucked it down.
And then immediately in the next scene is when he's cutting Joyce's hedges.
Yeah.
And she goes, you want some lemonade? And he pukes all over her yard. But he's cutting hair, cutting dogs. Jim doesn't like him. Kim doesn't like him either. Jim even calls him the R word later in the movie. And the son seems like he's cool with him, but he also ribs on him with Jim.
Refined?
Yeah. Refined gentleman. So now we get to a point where they're like, hey, we're going to open up a salon here. they're on TV. Edward's becoming a little bit of a local celebrity. Joyce is modeling smocks, and she shows her cleavage.
Good.
She tries to mount him.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm a child brain, basically. I don't know what's happening. And the chair falls backwards. You thought it was going to spill.
No, I was thinking about her boobs.
Mm-hmm. And he gets up and runs out. And she goes, Edward, you can't leave. And he goes right from the salon to the family eating at a restaurant. The restaurant was and I kid you not, there was a chain restaurant that closed in the 80s.
Chuck E. Cheese.
No, it's called Sambo's. And it had decor that...
Was it soul food?
Needless to say, they had to close every restaurant except for the original.
Yeah.
And the restaurant that they were eating in was one that had closed, and they basically just, made it look like a restaurant and filmed there. And then after that, they kept it as a restaurant. I'm going to venture to guess that there was a racial caricature on the menu named Sambo. So, in order to get the salon up and running, he's going to need money.
Yeah.
But the bank is like, you don't even exist.
Yeah, what do you have no skills, you have no job?
In fact, I might call the police.
Yeah, I mean, you coming in here with scissor hands?
And testimonials?
Are you trying to kill me?
Get out of here. And so she goes, don't worry.
Do you have a dick?
Well, don't worry.
I'm thinking about not giving you the loan, but I'm just wondering if you have a dick. That might change my mind.
We'll get the money somehow, says Diane Wiest. All of a sudden, Jimbo is telling Kimbo, hey, we should rob my old man, Bo.
This is going to be fucking awesome.
Because he's got a lot of shit, and he's a total asshole to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's why I'm the way I am.
Yeah.
And she goes, because they know that Edward can Jimmy a lock.
Oh, this is when the R word comes up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After this.
I remember it now.
So he goes, Kim, let's steal my dad's stuff. I'll hawk it because I know a guy who'll give me cash for it.
Jim, I don't want to.
Well, you don't want us to have our own van like Denny's when we can be by ourselves whenever we like? Huh? With a mattress in the back?
He goes, get Eddie to do the thing, and he'll do anything for you. He loves you. And she goes,
shut up.
I don't want to do this. And he goes, no, do it though. And she goes, oh, okay.
Don't you love me?
So now they're all geared up. They got hats on and turtlenecks like they're filming comedy sketches or something. And they get into the house. And as soon as Edward gets into the round room, that's his dad's room, they push him in and close the door.
Do they do that on purpose?
The door pulled shut and latched itself. Sir Anthony Michael Hall says it's on a different circuit.
Yes. Now, that's never mentioned, but that is exactly what happens.
Wow.
Because then the doors lock. Whoa, whoa. The shutters.
I just thought that door slammed shut and locked him in there.
No, I am pretty sure Jim tosses him, pushes him, nudges him at least, closes that fucking door. And then she goes, what? And they run away. We can't leave him.
What if he has a scissor dick?
We're leaving, Kim. And he puts her on his arm like it's fucking Double Dragon.
I mean, you have to leave. The police get there fast.
Well, yeah, but she can be like, look, it's a mistake.
She's got a point. She's like, you could just be like, it's your house.
Yeah.
Edward's your friend.
We told him not to go in there.
He's your brother from another mother,
He did, and it triggered the alarm.
It's
the police
not, what?
show up, and Edward's trying to get the door open.
Yeah.
And they go, son, we know you're in there. Come out. So they arrest him. They put the handcuffs on his thumb scissors, and everybody's coming out. Don't shoot, because he's coming out. Put your hands up. And he's got his hands up. Sir, I think he's got knives. Son, drop the knives. And he's just coming at him. And so they go, that's his hands. That's his hands. We know him. What? You know this boy?
Yeah, he cuts the lettuce.
Yeah.
He does it. He makes us all coleslaw.
We love it. He does quite a bit of that lettuce.
That's cabbage.
Mm-hmm. So they arrest him and they mugshot him, and then Alan Arkin and Diane Wiest come in and they go, oh, God, what'd you do this for, son?
I know we needed money for your special haircut and salon, but this wasn't the way.
Edward, why'd you do this? Never the way. Now, at this point, this is when Winona Ryder starts loving him. Now, Edward is, people are like, what's going on with you, buddy?
Why do you have scissors for hands?
The cop really takes a shine to him. He goes, God, I hope that... He goes, hey, doctor, you analyzed this boy. What's his deal? Well, he is not fit to be a man. But is he going to be all right out there, though? Yeah, he'll be fine. That was Danny Elfman.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Do you know about Danny Elfman?
That he did the music for this movie?
That he sent a picture of his cum in a drink glass to an assistant of his. Is like, I got a drink over here for you. Yeah, it was a big thing in the last 5 years.
He's super strong.
Disgusting.
That too.
Creepy.
He looks like Iggy Pop from the Crow too. So they go, okay, we're trying to make you a good guy again. The community's turned against you.
You need to show people if you have a scissor penis. That's the only way this neighborhood can come together is if we see if you have a scissor penis or not.
Better yet, we're gonna do our Christmas party that everybody's not coming to. So Kim is in the living room.
Scared of that scissor penis.
Kim's in the living room. And she goes, wait a second, it's snowing outside. So she goes outside and she sees Edward on a ladder. It's just ice sculpting the hell out of this 15-foot tall angel. She sees the ice sculpture and she's dancing in the falling snow. And she goes, this is fantastic. And then all of a sudden, Jim rolls up. He goes, hey! Wait, Edward turns, what? And he cuts Kim's hand.
Does he cut her when because I feel like he's just like in the moment still slicing that ice.
He is, and Jim goes, hey! And he turns, huh? And he drops his hand, and she's dancing, and it cuts her. And he comes up, you fucking freak! Cut my girlfriend's hand! Kim, go inside! I'm gonna deal with this. You fucking... And he's pointing on him, and
I'm gonna fucking fight him! He's got a fucking scissor dick!
Where Scissorhands is like, what? And Alan Alden's on the roof.
Alan Alden's in this movie?
I'm putting snow on the roof. And he goes, huh? And Edward starts running away. Eddie, where you going? Oh, okay, whatever. And Kim is getting treated, and Diane's like, oh, it's just a scratch. See, it was so much blood. Now, you think Edward cut his face earlier, and the scratch was on the wrong side of his...
Okay. Talk about it.
So they go, well, Edward's on the loose. The juice is loose. We gotta go get him.
Yeah, he's cutting people's heads mostly off.
Winona Ryder's pushing on Jim. Get out of here! Get out of here! And he goes, I'll be back, though. And he gets into his friend's van, and he's drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And Alan Alda and Diane Wiest go looking for old Eddie boy.
Yeah.
Old Eddie Norton. And he's out in the neighborhood. Earlier in the movie at the cookout, there was an old man. He comes up to him. I got shrapnel on my leg. Don't ever tell them you're a cripple or that you're less than anyone else. That's important. Now, as Edward's going around, he's pissed. He's cutting legs off of...
He's real worked up. Man,
hedges.
Kind of wild a few times in this movie.
It gets buck wild.
Remember when have we already gone past where he scrapes the hallway?
Oh, we did go past that, yeah.
That's just crazy.
So they're looking for him, and the boy is leaving a friend's house because he was at a friend's house.
Yeah.
And that he walks past the old man who is sitting in a chair in his empty garage with the garage door open and an empty chair next to him.
Why don't you come in here?
No, he goes, did they catch him? And Kevin goes, who? The cripple. Right? So
is this real?
Yeah. So earlier in the movie, he goes, don't let them tell you because I got shrapnel and they told me. And I said, And now he's like identifying him as a cripple. And I'm sorry for using the C word, by the way. But
I don't know if people...
It's within context.
I don't know if that's as bad of a word as the majority of the words you shouldn't say.
Probably.
Cripple.
I have said. So that's interesting that now it's like a clear indication that everybody's got bloodlust for this guy.
Yeah.
He's not bloodshot, though. So the boy's walking home, and all of a sudden, Jim's drunk friend is driving him. And he's
Tim, and Kim are in a van.
All over the road. And this is when Edward's in the house with Kim. She goes, I'm okay. And she goes, hold me. He goes, I can't. And then he goes over to the window. Don't you do it. and she comes over and she puts his arms around her. And he smells her hair a little bit.
Yeah.
And at this point, they see drunk driving. And then he looks over here and he sees Kevin. Doop-de-doo. And the van at this point is now barreling down on Kevin like the boulder from Indiana Jones. And Edward runs out and fucking dives on him, pushes him out of the way.
Are you okay?
Now
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Ricky.
What is that? You've done that sound before.
Psycho.
What is
that? and everybody's like, get the fuck off of him. You know?
Put your scissor boner back in your pants.
I don't understand. Do not compute.
This is how you make sure people are okay. You cut their face.
So Diane Wiest and Alan Alda get Kevin and they take him inside.
Go back to where you came from.
Jim is pushing on him.
Yeah.
And she goes, get the fuck out of here, Jim. And the rabble-rousers are rabble-rousing. And the police are looking for him, too. And then she goes to him, just fucking run, dude.
But show me your scissor first.
And he runs away.
Your scissor cock.
This image was so iconic of him running with his blades at his side.
Yeah.
He had to shoot that several times. They're in Florida.
Yeah.
And he insisted on the fact that the suit really be leather and that he not be given any sort of cooling apparatus.
That's smart.
He puked after doing it and passed out on the final take.
That's really... they didn't do any makeup. He's that pale because the leather's making him sick in Florida.
So he runs up to the house. Winona Ryder runs up to the house.
Did you know Johnny Depp got a scissor penis installed for this?
The cop runs up. He fires off some shots.
He had a big dick before he got that
You're
scissor
so close. The cop runs up. He fires off some shots. And the women come up. Where is he?
It's over.
He's gone. Is he dead?
It's
over. Go back, and he takes out his nightstick and throws it at a guy running away from him. So they go, well, I'm going up there. And they start barging up. At this point, Edward is in the house with Kim and Jim. Jim's fighting on him. She's whapping on Jim. Jim's whapping on her. And then all of a sudden, Edward just says, you know what? I got scissors. And he puts it in his stomach. Pierces his kidney.
And then he marches him backwards out the window.
Yep. Through the window. Oh, crash.
Does he even do that?
What's that? No, they don't. He pushes him through the window, and we hear a thud, and it cuts to him laying on the ground with a little blood on his shirt. And the women come marching up. Jim's dead. Joyce is like, I never had sex with him. And so Winona Ryder, he goes, you need to leave. You know, it wasn't meant to be.
I love you so fucking much.
Winona Ryder hugs him and she goes, I love you. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Why?
He's handsome. His hair is so gross in this movie, too.
Now, here's the thing. I got a problem with this, though.
Oh, no. You're upset we never saw a scissor dick?
No. Winona Ryder comes out. She's got a pair of hands. What happened up there? The roof collapsed. See, here's his hand.
Yeah, he's dead.
The roof was made of scissors. Cut off his hand. That's why I have it. But he bleeds, too, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
That's weird. Throughout this final section of the film, Edward, at this point, he's been castigated as a villain. It's been a while since he's cut somebody's hair.
Yeah?
Because only Diane Wiest wants a haircut. She says, cut my hair. He goes, again? Because she's trying to be nice. I love having my own stylist in the house. So he's not cutting anybody else's hair. He's a pariah. However, in the audience of the rabble-rousers, there's one woman in particular. Her hair is styled to look like a Christmas present. Who cut it? Not Edward. So what is it, Fredward? Is there a different guy?
Fredward Bizzerbins?
Medward Meshbender? I don't like that. There was another lady whose hair looked like a swan. So I'm like, who cut their hair? What's going on there? I want to know. But, so Edward's not dead. And Winona Ryder just goes on to live the next 50 years of her life.
Yeah.
At any moment, she could have went back to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't go back there forever. As a granddaughter.
3 years, Edward can come on down, probably.
After a while, because Peg and Bill are long dead. So at some point, they could have just went up there.
When you get your hair cut by Edward Scissorhands, you live forever. You get a little bit of his magic.
So he continues to sculpt. And that's why it snows in Florida.
Yep.
And the movie's over.
Yep.
At this point.
It's pretty sad. Why couldn't they just maybe go somewhere else? If she loves him.
That's just it. I don't think she really loved him.
No.
That's the thing.
What, do you think it's because he's a little castle freak? When was the last time you saw Edward Scissorhands?
Oh, ages ago. I probably was a very young child.
Oh, I think I've seen it in the last 10 years, and that was the point where I was like, oh, I really like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
This gives me some feelings, and I really like the end.
I really like this movie as well.
I don't really like this movie as much as I used to. I like it in a different way. I used to think it was really tender and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I found it pretty fucking funny this time.
Yeah.
There was like a lot of humor that made me laugh quite a bit.
That's the thing that I really liked about the movie is I don't think they really developed the Kim-Edward relationship, but boy, you really get to spend a lot of time with just Edward in these crazy, he's cutting hair, he's
making stupid faces.
You know, him and Alan Arkin together are fantastic.
Alan Arkin's great in this, dude. He's really very funny.
Everybody, Diane Wiest is so great in this movie. If I had to give it a rating, I'd give it
7.
I'd give it 8 sleigh bells.
You're giving it an 8?
I am.
Oh wow.
I am. I think after finding an appreciation for Big Fish, going back to some earlier Burtons.
Didn't you not like Big Fish? Didn't you talk mad shit about Big Fish?
I did. Talk mad shit about everything. but I did enjoy it.
It's what I do, Will. I tell stories.
It really opened my eyes to the grandeur of
Tim Burton. Why don't you and me get on this big fish and take us to heaven?
What's his name?
Albert Finney?
Albert Finney. Which quickly dovetailed then once I saw
The Image.
Raising Nemo. What is it called?
Milo.
Delivering Milo. What did you give this movie?
I'm going to give it a 7.
I always say, what did you? Because I already feel like I've given it a rating after I've seen it. I just haven't articulated it enough to put an actual numerical number to it. But you gave it a 7?
I give it a 7.
I give it an 8.
It's fun to look at. It's weird. It's sexy once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite sad at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I like Anthony. I was really quite shocked when he kills Anthony Michael Hall. I was like, oh, shit.
It was shocking again. Yeah. And honestly, I felt like Anthony Michael Hall didn't really look too old in here. For some reason, I was expecting him to look like he was too old for this role.
No.
He looks very young.
When did this movie come out?
90.
1990?
Uh-huh.
So they filmed it in like the late 80s? I mean, yeah, so it's like...
Yeah, well, no, because he did Batman in 89.
Okay.
So I imagine this was probably filmed pretty quick.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
So it's like 4 or 5 years since Anthony Michael Hall was the twerp and everything.
Because it came out at Christmas of 90.
Okay.
So, hey, Merry Christmas.
Oh, yeah, Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Some Christmas shit. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Reddit, Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
We doing filmographies.
Gmail us at wedoingfilmographies@gmail.com. I could have sworn I was going to get home tonight.
Keith Gordon was going to be there at
10:30.
Yeah, it's midnight.
It will be when I get home. I have been Julian.
Jason. Merry holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Good night.
Good night.